Palace 0, Burnley 1, joined by Freddie here. It was such a disappointing performance by Palace. Not many people expected it going into the game. I thought the lineup was pretty strong, but overall, Burnley just seemed like the better side.
Yeah, they did. They played us. They just played so much better than us pretty much the entire match, to be honest. We had that 10-minute spell at the start of the second half where I thought we actually troubled them a little bit. But after that, we just lacked any real thought, to be honest. I thought we were just outplayed.
Why do you think that was? Is it down to the tactics? Because our players, I mean, we still had Wilf there. Of course, we didn't have Benteke, but we still had decent enough players, I thought, before the game to beat this Burnley side. But during the game, the players like Wilf, of course, didn't perform as they normally could and normally should.
Yeah.
But what did you think it was?
Yeah, I think with Wilf, I think he's still a bit injured, isn't he? Really, he didn't really look up to the standards he usually set. We started off so slowly. I think you've got to question the tactics a little bit because when, all respect to Burnley, they outplayed us, but they shouldn't be playing it around the pitch like they did against us. 64% possession, I think they had. That's ridiculous. They're not a ball-playing team, and for them to dominate us like they did, you've got to question the tactics that Hodgson used.
Do you think that we, of course, not for the pressure up there, but do you think that we missed Benteke? Because they seemed like they wanted us to cross the ball. They weren't going at Wilf. They were telling him basically go and cross the ball, and likewise for Andros Townsend. Do you think today, if we had Benteke, it would have been a total different game?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't realise how important he was for us until today. We rely on him so heavily. His presence is so important, and I saw that today because, as you said, they literally just invited us to cross it because with their aerial strong defence, they were just like, yeah, well, you can cross it. You're not going to cause us any damage, and because of that, they were able to just sit back and defend everything.
Yeah, I have to give credit to Burnley for that because they did deserve the result. Now that the game is done, looking at the league table, is European football chances over? I mean, it was always going to be difficult, but now that Burnley are beating us, we've got some hard run of games coming up with Leicester next. I'm not too sure if that game's going to go ahead, of course, with what's happening with the lockdown in Leicester. But What do you think about it? Are you hopeful of European places, mate?
I don't think we're going to get anything, really. I mean, if you look at our run-in, pretty much every team we're playing, they're either really good or they have something to play for. The only match I can see us potentially winning is Villa, and they're going to be fighting for their lives because they're in a massive relegation battle. And I just kind of think we just haven't shown any real effort to get into the top 8.
Before we go on to your man of the match, of course, let's talk about the Burnley goal. It was a very, very poor goal to concede from Palace and very poor from Vicente Gaito, who has been arguably our player of the season contender so far. So what do you make of the goal? It seemed like there was a slight deflection there. I don't know if that impacted it, but I still think he shouldn't have conceded.
Yeah, no, he shouldn't have conceded it. I think he just dived a bit too early, to be honest. I think he just misjudged it because, yes, it was a great header, but at the end of the day, he should be saving it. But I'm not going to question him because he's been arguably our best player this season. It just looked like Wayne Hennessy was in goal, really.
Exactly. So after what happened against the Liverpool game, you'd think Vicente's coming in, and I was excited. I was like, yes, Vicente is finally back in the side of one of our most important players, and then that goes and happens. But I guess he's only made 2 major mistakes this season, and that's the Sheffield United one and this one. So I can't really blame him for that because he's been very consistent, and you expect those 1 or 2 mistakes. But it was just unfortunate it was against Burnley. But now let's talk about your man of the match. If you could pick one player, who would be your man of the match for Palace?
I'm going to go with James McArthur. I thought he put in a pretty decent shift, to be fair. He was trying to create something, but I just think we were very lethargic in the attack. And he was just trying, but he couldn't do anything really.
Yeah, normally he has that freedom to run all over the pitch, but there was nowhere to run into because Burnley was so compact. So he couldn't really play. He couldn't really play as... He played good, but he couldn't do what he normally does in terms of going into the box and carrying the ball. But yeah, it was unfortunate in that aspect. But thank you for joining me, Freddie. As always, leave down your comments down below and subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. And until next time, up the pad.